Welcome back. Same day, different videos. That video, the first part was really long, so I figured I'll just break this into two parts. Anyway, if you've not watched the first part, this is your cue to go and watch that. I'm talking about content creation, the struggle that I face. I talked about my YouTube channel and my Instagram, so check that out. Maybe those struggles you can relate to them as well. And then for today's video, I'm going to cover my blog and my podcast channel. So let's get this ball rolling. If you are subscribed to my blog, or if you're following my blog, first of all, pole sana. I have not posted in I don't know how long, in a really long time. Now, the reason I started blogging is because I still do. I still like writing. I still like expressing myself by writing. If I'm angry, I'll write about it. If I'm happy, I'll write about it. I feel like writing is my way of coping with my emotions in life, and I actually enjoy it. I haven't been blogging for a while. I haven't been writing on my journal for a while. I've just stopped writing ever since this pandemic started. I think I posted like one blog post or two, alafu that was it, and it's very disappointing. I want to get back to it, but then as I said, I need to start planning the kind of blog posts I want to be posting. The thing is, sometimes I duplicate what I post on my blog and what I post on my YouTube channel, and I feel like that's not very creative. It's just me being lazy. So I have to sit down and think of things that I have to do for my blog. I'll have to think of the things that I have to do for my YouTube channel. At some point on my blog, I used to have these blog posts of, I used to call them Being African. It was a Q&A. I would ask Africans about their experience of being an African. And I used to love, I still do, I love those blog posts because I feel like it gives insights not only to me, but to other people on how some Africans think and how their experience is. Because I think a lot of people think like Africans are not proud of being African. And obviously there's some who are not, and they're really letting us down. But then there's some who are extremely proud of that. And I'm hoping that these interviews showcase that more. I've had some amazing ones. Check them out on my blog, bintimalu.com. And I want to do more of those. So I feel like that's where I'm going to be starting. I told you, talking to you guys is going to help me process things. So yeah, I'm going to start off by doing more of the Being African post. We're going to start from there, and then we're going to find our way through all that. So yeah, I'm glad I came up with a solution for that. Podcasting has been my latest venture. I thought of starting a podcast from last year. I know I posted on my Instagram whether I should start a podcast. And when I wanted to start a podcast, the idea was it was going to be a podcast whereby I interview people from different professions that are based in Africa so that they can share their experience. That was the idea I was going for, like interviewing people, having them share their experience, having people sharing like the work market in Africa. And then I just ended up going the opposite direction, really. So now the podcast that I've been doing, the podcast episodes I've been doing, the first one was about being in love. The second one was about who do you hate. The third one was about the people pleaser. The fourth one, I think, was about Black Lives Matter. And then the fifth one, which was the last one, it was about letting go. Like, what do you need to let go? Yeah, what are you struggling to let go? So it was about letting go. After I changed my mind about, the work thing and decided to be covering topics that are vulnerable and that make people share their feelings and just dig deeper into themselves, I knew that I wanted to interview people. And I started off by my friends and maybe some people that I didn't know. And then eventually I started reaching out to people on Instagram to share their opinions. And for my friends, I feel like the questions that I ask them, these are not conversations we usually have. My friends are usually very jolly, they're easygoing, like I am. And we don't discuss about deep matters. So I feel like them participating on the podcast has helped me to have a better insight in their lives, their struggles, and just things that they are experiencing, I might have experienced. And it has been eye-opening for me. I don't know about them. I have a few who have actually said, like, this has made me think about my life. I actually appreciate your podcast episodes. And those things make me happy. But for me, it's been a big blessing. I didn't think this was the route it was going to take, but I am glad it has. And the thing is, with my podcast, like my YouTube channel, I don't think it's just going to cover one topic. I will be covering a lot of topics. The idea is that I want people to be vulnerable and have a space where they can be that without any judgment. So the people who participate on my podcast, it's anonymous. They don't have their names or anything. If you want to mention your name, yes, you can, but you don't have to. And then they can share their stories. There have been some that have just shocked me because I didn't know. These are my friends, right? I didn't know like this was something they're struggling with. So I was like, wow, this is intense. But yeah, I'm glad I have friends who are willing to share about their life. And I'm also glad that there are people out there, when I reach out to you, you're willing to share about your life. And I totally, truly appreciate that. So next time you see a message from me asking you to participate on a podcast episode, please don't feel shy. Don't be hesitant. Nobody's going to judge you. First of all, nobody's even going to know it's you. And whoever is going to judge you, they don't deserve you, really. You don't even shouldn't care about it, because at the end of the day, you speak your truth, and then whether it's something you need to fix in your life, fix it. And if you feel like everything is okay, that's okay as well. But sharing is caring. A problem shared is a problem halved. That's what I believe. And I try my best to share my problems with strangers because, with strangers, they don't judge you. But then now I share them on my podcast, whereby all of you can see that. Some of you are strangers, some of you people I know. And if you're going to judge me, I don't think I have close people in my life who are going to be extremely judgmental. So yeah, that's the podcast. And I might be actually posting every other week on my podcast channel, just because I think like I need time to be planning these podcast episodes, and the more time I have, the more I can properly articulate what I want to pass across. But then if I can actually dedicate enough time to be spending on my podcast as well as my YouTube channel and maybe blogging, I might do it every Sunday, but from the look of things, I think it's going to be every other Sunday. So just put that at the back of your mind. So there you have it. Those are my 4 platforms that I'm on and that I'm struggling to stay afloat, and where I am stuck when it comes to content and the criticism I have for myself. And I hope this helps you to realize that content creation is not easy. So if you know any content creators, I hope you appreciate their work. I try to appreciate the work of the content creators that I follow. And if I write to you and say that I've actually enjoyed this, is really nice, I truly mean it. I know it takes time. Sometimes things don't turn out the way we want, and that's after hours and hours of work that we've put into whatever content we're creating, and then at the end of the day, it just becomes a flop. That's very heartbreaking. But then at the end of the day, if content creation is something you're passionate about, you're going to keep doing it. Now with content creation, there are going to be days whereby you will be discouraged. You're going to have moments like me right now, where you're having 0 ideas. You're just in a plateau, like in a desert. You feel nothing. You don't have any ideas of creating anything. You lack motivation. There are going to be those moments. And then there are going to be moments where you have self-doubt, where you create something and you've put a lot of work into it, a lot of hours, And then when it comes to time to post it and share it with the public, you start asking yourself, is this going to make meaning to other people? Is this even relevant? Does my video make sense? So you start questioning yourself a lot. When that happens, I don't have a solution to it yet. But for me, I've had some videos that I questioned on whether to post them. And there have been a lot that I didn't post, but there have been a few that I posted. In terms of how they did, most of them didn't do so well. But at the end of the day, I was glad that I posted it because I put the work into it and I'm going to share it. Now, whether people find it relevant or not, that's another issue altogether. I don't have control over that, but it's something I'm proud of. So it is something I ended up sharing. I have some tips from my fellow creatives. Now, I'm not a pro at this at all. I've mentioned before that I struggled with referring myself as a content creator. I'm a creative. It's still something I'm working on. Right now, I'm comfortable with someone referring to me as a content creator. I'm a creative. I still think my content is not as dope as some of the content that is out there, but it's at a place I'm happy with. I'm actually satisfied with how my content is. So some of the things that I've learned during my content creation journey and during the struggle that I've had with content creation, the first is that take a break when and if needed. If you run out of ideas, don't beat yourself for it. If you lack motivation, don't beat yourself for it. Just take a break, get out of that creative mode. I'm a creation mode, and just relax, enjoy life. Relax your mind, relax your body, relax yourself, and after that, you will come back better than you were before. Another tip is that follow your fellow creatives. I have been starting to make videos about Tanzanian creatives because I feel like that's a way for me to be motivated to actively search for Tanzanian creatives. And I was amazed by the number of Tanzanian creatives that we are and how many talented creatives are out there. I am still discovering them, but by following these creatives, I get to appreciate their work, and I try my best to be motivating, like to give good feedback. I'm like, I like this, I like that, or I feel like this should change or that should change. And I have received some amazing feedback from the Tanzanian creatives. One of them was Fahad Fuad. He gave me phenomenal feedback, forever thankful for that. Some of it I'm still trying to follow it. And then someone else gave me feedback recently. I'll have the name here. So I get feedback from them and I try to give my feedback, and I also get inspired by the content they create. So following your fellow creatives is something that's beneficial for you and for them. And then another tip, which is very important when it comes to content creation, is to find what inspires you, what makes your brain tick, what keeps you thinking. For me, it's books, it's music, movies, sermons. There was a point where I used to be really inspired by sermons, podcasts, conversations with friends and strangers, YouTube channels I've subscribed to, Instagram accounts that I'm following, feelings that I experience in the moment, life experiences, and then, those random thoughts you get in the middle of the night. I get a lot of my ideas from those random thoughts. Like, I'll be trying to sleep, and then an idea will pop in my mind, and then I create content about it. So those late night random thoughts or early morning thoughts, those are very helpful. Tune into those. Don't push them away. You can also get your ideas from inspiration from dreams as well. Yeah, from dreams as well. So whatever inspires you, consume that. Actively consume that. If you know for a fact you get inspiration from reading books, read a lot of books, get different ideas, and then create content that is unique to you that you can share with us. So that is my rant for this video. It's long. I think that there's something you can take from it. If there isn't, maybe you can share it with someone who can take something away from this. And hopefully you write, text, call. That's creatives that you know, that content creators that you know, and let them know that you appreciate your work. I'm going to be sending out or sharing on my Instagram some of the creatives that I appreciate their work when this video goes up. So make sure you follow me on Instagram, bintimalu.com. Thank you so much for watching, and I shall see you next time, whenever that will be, when I'm back with better ideas and better content from me. With better content ideas. So don't give up on me. Please be patient with me. I may not be posting for a while, but when I do, know that I'm back and I'm better. Thank you so much for watching. Remember to keep spreading the African love, whatever kind of love you have to offer, because there's no room for hate. Kwaheri.